Hello and welcome to Just Bros recording a podcast, episode 3 for the matter. I didn't think it would actually go on this
Ooh.
long.
Time flies by when you're having fun.
Exactly. I'm here with my co-host, Mr. Sassagras,
Hello.
and by the time we're recording this, only episode 1 is out, and episode 2 should be going out Sunday. So I just want to say thank you from the bottom of our hearts for the support that we've gotten for this so far.
Yeah. It means a lot. It's kind of crazy how far it's actually gone. I thought we would have done like episode 1 or 2, and then we would have been like, okay, we're done.
Yeah, we've been getting like a lot of support behind this series, and I like that because it's definitely a more lax and more chill approach to podcasts because a lot of times people are a lot more funny and stuff, and we're just chilling and beer ourselves, and we really appreciate that you guys like that. So we thank you.
Yeah, you and I were actually on a call earlier today, and we were talking to some of our, friends, and one of them said that they have watched the entire thing. I was like, whoa, that's actually crazy because it's crazy how people that you don't expect to watch it actually do watch the entire thing and actually really love it.
Yeah, a lot of people I've talked to actually really enjoyed the podcast as a whole, and I really appreciate that. It just shows that all the hard work that we put into actually us finding time to talk with each other really kind of paid off.
Yeah, so we talked, and believe is the first one on how we met each other, and it's crazy what we're able to use the things that we have learned together to actually make something like this. And I think what's going to be a cool thing too, as well as seeing how this podcast evolves over time. I feel like said you and I are in talks right now with Ashton, and he's thinking of making us a kind of a image for the entire podcast as a whole, and I'm excited to see that.
Yeah, it might be on this episode, it might not be. I know it's not going to be for the second episode, but we'll just have to wait and see. I know he will definitely do it now, I believe, right?
Yeah, said I was talking to him in DMs, and he said he would love to be up for it. So just depending on when he gets the chance to, I think that we will hopefully have it by this episode, maybe, or even episode yeah.
That's awesome.
Well, he's very good at art, and I'm really excited to see what he's able to come up with for this.
Yeah, it's speaking of Ashton, we've actually started working a little more on Adventures of Sassakun.
Yeah, I said that's actually really cool. I said we have episode 1 out, and that we all are so proud of everybody who did it. It said just the creativity and the effort put behind it to everybody. It just amazes me. It baffles me.
Yeah, by far, honestly, episode 1 is probably my favorite project I've ever been a part of, personally, because of how much effort was put into the whole entire thing by everyone. Like,
Oh, and honestly, though, Bro Pose, the way he put effort into the way he said all that, I was blown away, and it really gave off the character. People who had never seen, had ever watched technically quote unquote an anime or a cartoon, was blown away by his voice acting. Dude, it feels like he's actually there, and I said it's crazy how you just put using your voice so you can make something come to life.
yeah, Hav did a really good job with that. I'm glad I got to get to him and just I'm glad I got to him and to make him do that because he was the right role for it.
Yeah, and honestly, episode 2, you are one of the character. You said your character is one of the main characters that show up in episode 2, and you and I already got all of our voice pieces done for that. But I'm so
Yeah,
excited to see the end result. I think you did a fantastic job with that. I think we all did together create something amazing.
yeah, a little bit of insight. I don't know if episode 2 will be out by when this podcast comes out, but when we recorded episode two's lines, we were all in a Discord call. It was me, Rack, and Adam all in one giant Discord call, just chilling and giving our vocal deliveries and everything that we needed for the episode. It was just Adam talking as Death Sass and as Sassagras or Sassakun, my fault,
Hmm.
and then it was me as was I don't want to say anything, but it was
Uh,
me as my character Nico-san. And that was just nice to finally get the ball rolling. But the problem was, it's like we filmed that so long ago.
Yeah, so I completely forgot what we even said. But like I know I'm proud of what we did. I'm quite certain that we made something really good. Like
Oh
I'm
yeah,
just I'm
no.
excited to see it. I'm excited to see what it's doing because Cost is what he's done is he's taken time out of his day to do that stuff. He used to focus more on the like drawing stuff, but you realize he's been thinking about his future more often. He's wanting to maybe go into animation, and he thought taking on AOS would be something that would be important to him. So he has made some insane like creations so far, and I'm excited to see what he's able to do with episode 2 overall.
Yeah. That'd be a good
But
thing. Because I know he's gonna top himself like he always does. I know he's gonna top himself.
hmm
I just definitely know that because episode one was a feat. Like that was an accomplishment for him as an
yeah, it
animator.
showed show that what he thought he never could do came true. Like he sure he can make as much like animations as he wants, but he was never able to actually ever put it anywhere. But with all of us working together, with you being there, me being there, Rakanor being there, just everyone being there together, we were able to like take it and like use our own like special abilities that we had, our own little strong points. We were able to take it together, and we were able to like create something that we're all really proud of, and we still are proud of it to this day, and that's what's important.
Yeah, episode one was definitely the best thing I was a part of, even though I literally had no screen time in that episode.
But
And
it's as being part like one of the producers, it's
yeah,
crazy important for everything that we did. And you are going to actually be able to see yourself be played as a character in episode 2, and I think that's something you're really looking forward to. And honestly, I'm really looking forward to. I'm excited to see the whole character dynamic and how Sassakun acts and how Nico-san acts and how Ray acts. Like how they all just sound realistic toward each other. Like I'm excited for that. Like that Discord call, I think really helped.
yeah, definitely. It gave us that actual interaction that we needed to fully make it seem like it's an actual conversation between people and not just lines, you know?
Yeah, and we really we really blew it away. Like I am like I'm honestly just perplexed that we're able to do it. I was actually talking to one of my junior high teachers about Adventure Saskatoon actually today, which is kind of funny. But I was telling her about how I had this whole project going on because long story time. First, let me get a drink of water.
Oh boy.
Okay, so a while ago, in language for my eighth grade class, what we had was a thing called um, Genius Hour, and pretty much we were given a role and like a goal that we wanted to personally do, and my goal was to like have my YouTube channel, like increase my YouTube channel, like increase everything I was doing in it, and I like this is when I only had like this is when I like just hit 100 subscribers, and honestly like I was like, okay, yeah, and then I left the class and like I was glad with the 100 subscribers I had, and then I came back now like even bigger, and I was able to talk to my teacher about everything that I've like been able to accomplish, and she was super proud of me, and like I was just really happy because she's the one who actually gave me the chance to actually like work on that stuff during school, and it
Mm-hmm.
just ended up well. And AOS was one of the things I was telling her about, and how you were there, like I talked about you a little bit and how you're from Florida, and then I was able to talk about Koss from how he's from Singapore, Asia, and I just she was just blown away that we were able to create something like that.
Honestly, especially for how far away we live from each other, it's
Yeah,
quite it's quite impressive. And
I mean I've never been more proud of being in a group assignment, like like how it is for school and stuff, how you're like stuck to do
yeah,
this like assignment, then after that it's done. But for this is something that I think like it's crazy to think about, but someday later on, whenever we're older, we can like look back on it and be like, wow, we really made a freaking series, and like we were able to make something like this. And I'm really glad for that. Like I've been thinking about the future a lot, and I think this is one of the things I'm proud of just everyone, like you being there, like the other Adam being there, and then even Cost being there, and just everyone else we're gonna like add on to help us throughout. It's just gonna be a crazy, and I'm just gonna be in a great adventure, honestly.
for real. I'm really looking forward to making more content personally.
Yeah.
I'm because I've been kind of in this gray area for what I've been thinking about for making content. I'm currently working on a video. This is being recorded September 4th of the I wanted to make a review of the album Fear Inoculum by Tool because
Yeah.
that just came out and that's like a giant thing. And I wanted to say my thoughts on it. I'm currently working on that right now. It has a bit of a cameo from Dangerous Sweet. It has like this kind of. It's gonna be a long video. It's gonna be about like 15 minutes long, maybe 20. It's it's just gonna be a nice like long analytical video, and that's what I really wanted to make for this album because of how long and how big it is, and just so much is incorporated into it, and that's kind of the style that I'm wanting to go into more is more analytical and more thought-provoking videos, I guess. I'm never against comedy, but it's not me, really.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing that I think you and I both really need to realize is that we really, if we want to keep on like doing what we want to do, we need to really get back to posting videos. Like so, doing this podcast has been able to give you content, but I realize like
Yeah,
we both need to like really get back to like making like content, like our own individual content, and that's the problem is like for example like I've been extremely lazy. Like whenever I have free time instead of like having the chance to actually make videos or doing something, I instead like sit back and like watch YouTube, and that's a horrible trait to have because like sure I'm relaxing, but at the same time I could be doing my hobby. You know, I could be like making videos with you or
exactly
something
how
like
I
that.
feel. Exactly how I feel.
And I'm
Yeah.
feeling horrible about it because like I have I have the chance to do it like right now. Like besides like us like talking about this podcast, like if I weren't doing this podcast, I'd probably be watching YouTube or something. But actually having that group call that we had earlier and then actually talking about like adventures Sassakun and like all that, it made me like it's helping me re-inspire, you know.
Yeah, and it's also like with me for how much I do every day. I wake up in the morning, go to cross country practice, go to school, come back home. I have to like do my homework, which usually takes about an hour, and then honestly on my mind, I just sometimes I take a nap. I literally
Yeah.
am so tired throughout the day because I go to bed around like 10 o'clock sometimes and wake up at 5, so I have to like keep going through that cycle weekly, and then on weekends I have to wake up at like 3 because I have cross country
Yeah.
meets, and then when I get back in town I sleep. And
No, and I get that. Like that takes the energy out of you.
the only free day I have is Sundays, and I just want to enjoy it. Honestly.
Yeah, and that yeah. See, that's how I was over the summers. I said I worked as a lifeguard over the summer, and whenever I'd get done doing something, like or even the day I would have free, I just want to sit and relax and do nothing. And I got criticized by my parents for doing that. Like I would literally just sit and want to relax, and they'd be like, "Why aren't you going out and stuff?" I'm like, "I was outside like all day yesterday. Like this is my time to relax." And even when I was relaxing, I felt like I wanted to make a video, but I just didn't take the time to do it.
The motivation wasn't there for me.
Yeah. And I'm honestly now that I'm doing stuff again, I really feel the motivation, but then I'm just so busy with homework and all that stuff that's it's caused issues. But I'm setting time, I'm setting goals to make videos now, and I think that's been both for you and I. Like we both have our goals that we're wanting to complete, and we're gonna get it done.
Hopefully.
We gotta have that optimism, you know.
Honestly, but and a little bit of insight into my life. Hurricane Dorian just came at my house actually, but it did not really affect Florida too much. Not really. A few like a few sticks were thrown, but that was really it. The Bahamas really got the beating, and whew. Pray for the Bahamas. They got the worst part of it. Like houses were flooded. Like people had to hide in their attics because their houses were flooded. And no, nothing happened here. The shutters were on our house. We were expecting the worst. Nothing happened. And during that time, I've been like thinking about like videos I've wanted to make and edit. And one of the main themes about the Tool video is me waiting for Hurricane Dorian to come. It's like a little intro skit where it's just me waiting, and like you get to see the shutters and everything. It's like this beautiful scenic view of my room. And
I want to see that. I'm excited to see that.
yeah, it's like the intro stuff, and like the whole concept of the video is to, like to rank each song on the album because there's 7 tracks on the album, and the album's 80 minutes long, and each song's like 10 minutes plus.
Yeah.
And so I kind of like took a bunch of time to discuss each individual song, and that should be coming out very soon. I was expecting it to come out like tonight, but I didn't. I just got lazy.
I mean, I get that.
And
I mean, as we were saying, we both get late. We bof get lazy. Like after all that stuff, we have a commitment at the beginning of the day. We're like, hey, we're gonna make this video later on. Then that night, you're like,
nah.
nah.
Exactly. And it's
And
like this video's gonna come out in like a week and a half, and all this stuff's already gonna happen. So it's gonna be like so
yeah.
weird to hear our past perspectives when I upload it. It's gonna be funny.
You know, so actually, that's actually something I really thought about. Like, imagine like we do this like, and then a year later we come back to these podcasts and we just listen to it.
Honestly, it'd be interesting. Very
I
interesting.
mean, I'm excited to see. I'm excited to see how everything's changed. Like, as in like what happened afterward. Like the first podcast, we might go back and like we can like maybe like by then, you know how we're talking about how YouTube was changed. Maybe when we go back, YouTube is hopefully a better place than it was at the time it is currently.
Or worse.
Or worse. Hopefully not, but it might be worse.
YouTube just becomes a fascist dictator. It just segregates everyone, and you cannot say a single curse word on the site.
Yeah, I mean that's what's kind of it's kind of how it's been at the moment. Like even iDubbbz, like iDubbbz is barely like surviving with his like the content he used to make. You know.
Oh yeah, but that Full Force documentary was actually really good.
Oh my god, I loved that documentary. I watched it, like reminded me of something you'd see like off of like TV.
Honestly, yeah, it was so good. It actually was a real documentary. I loved how it was filmed. Just everything about it was great. I absolutely adored it. Great job to
No,
iDubbbz.
yeah. No, and I said honestly, congrats to him, and I really hope like at this very instant he's like making another one about someone.
Yeah, I hope he's doing well. He's
Yeah,
a good YouTuber.
I mean,
He's one of those YouTubers who I actually really like still, because I had this phase back when I was like in middle school where I watched like the edgiest YouTubers. Like
uh-huh.
Filthy Frank, PewDiePie was in his phase back then.
Mm-hmm.
And iDubbbz was definitely one of them. Oh, Leafy and Pyrocynical. God, they were the giants.
What happened to Lee? Oh my god, what happened to Leafy? He like gone up and like disappeared.
Leafy, I have no idea. I know Pyrocynical is still doing stuff, but Leafy, I'm gonna check. Hold on, I'm looking this up. Hold on.
He's gone. Like he has not posted.
I'm gonna look this up. Leafy. Holy shit, he's been gone for a year.
Yeah, he has not showed up anytime soon. Like he has not been there.
Did he just die?
Honestly, like I don't know what happened. Like did he like just become depressed or something? Just like
He hasn't posted on Twitter in 2 years. Damn.
I wonder if he just like left like and just disappeared. You know.
Straight up dipped. Holy crap.
No, I said honestly I forgot about him. Like I forgot he existed.
Honestly, but like he was like the biggest part of like the edgy content that was like striving throughout YouTube in 2016.
He's the one who started the edgy commentary.
Honestly, and then like people like Filthy Frank I used to like. I don't really like his old I really don't like Filthy Frank too much anymore because I love Joji much more.
Yeah. It's said, and actually, I'm taking a big inspiration from from Filthy Frank at the moment. It said he's the way he like perfectly like was able to make his content. Like it was just I don't know what he did, but back in the day, like everyone has admitted, Filthy Frank is the pinnacle of like edginess. Like he's the one who made everybody else edgy. Like PewDiePie even admitted that he like was like pretty much like a watered down Filthy Frank at one point.
You know, Filthy Frank is honestly the pinnacle of like edgy comedy for YouTube.
Did you know he's the one who made the the Harlem Shake originally?
Yeah, I knew that. Yeah,
I think that's crazy.
and no, Filthy Frank is the pinnacle of like edgy comedy for YouTube. He's like the Bill Hicks or Dave Chappelle of the world for
Yeah,
YouTube.
he's the one who like built the the foundation on the bottom.
Yeah. And that's what I really appreciate. That's really good. That's really cool that he did it.
And yeah, and what's even crazier is he was able to dominate the YouTube platform.
Yeah,
And
honestly.
as soon as he did that, and whenever he changed his to be happy, he dominated the YouTube platform again as Joji, and he's himself, and he's happy.
Joji is an interesting figure, honestly.
Yeah.
It's an interesting case. Because, honestly, I didn't know what to think of Joji at first. Because when, like, what was it? What was his first single? It was, that one song.
Slow Dancing in the Dark?
No. The one beforehand. It was not Yeah Right. Yeah Right was a little later on. What was that one song?
Demons.
no.
Because his newer one's Sanctuary. That one's like his big one.
No,
right
it
now.
was like, will he play you the songs just the way that I did? Well, how's that? What is that one?
I'm not sure.
Really
There's
treat you like
Overdrive.
shit 'cause the way I did. What was that?
I can look it up right now. You mean just look up Filthy Frank? I mean, Joji's first song.
I'm going to Spotify. Hold on.
All right, yeah.
It was off of the In Tongues EP.
I don't wanna close my eyes. No.
Don't wanna fall asleep because I miss
So
you.
I actually watched Filthy
Don't
Frank.
wanna
That's in a
miss
Filthy Frank video.
thing. All right, Joji. My
That's
computer's
actually
being
in
really
a Filthy
slow.
Frank video.
All right, let's try to.
Let me pull it up. I'm gonna watch that video because it makes me smile. I watched it just yesterday. One of his Filthy Frank videos. It's on his
Dang.
like original channel. But my Wi-Fi seems to not be working either.
Dang. All right. Well, I'm gonna talk for a little bit while looking over it. It's like no, Joji is like definitely an interesting figure. I used to like. Okay. Joji, hold on. Will he? That was a song.
Holy shit! Please take my money! Now!
Okay, so what's happening is Filthy Frank walks into the room. He sees he sees a black kid on on his bed, and he screams. He's like, "Take my money!" And then suddenly out of nowhere, the kid just like starts smiling, and then just watch.
That's Aerosmith. What the heck?
Pretty much Filthy Frank just like pulls out like KFC out of his pocket, and like the guy starts smiling.
Dude, we're gonna get copyright struck. That's Aerosmith.
Yeah, I'm gonna stop there.
I don't wanna close
But
my
it's
eyes.
I don't know, just his comedy's so good. Like literally, like so what happens? Like he's just smiling at he's looking at the guy smiling back at him. He pulls out KFC. The dude's like really happy, and that's when the music starts playing. And then he pulls out watermelon. He starts licking it. So it's like just horrible stereotypes, but it's crazy that he got like the kid in the first place to like record it with him.
That's ridiculous. But yeah, no, the song "Will He" was his first single that he ever dropped, I believe, and that was the first song I heard from him, and it was decent.
Yeah.
It was decent. Then Yeah Right came out. I liked that a little more, and then Slow Dancing in the Dark came out.
Ooh, Slow Dancing in the Dark. Ooh.
That was the song that literally showed everyone that he had something. And
In
man.
the dark.
In the dark. Yeah.
No, it was so good, and then I just love Sanctuary so much. Like Sanctuary is just it hits me every time I listen to it.
Sanctuary's okay. I don't.
Falling in love, baby. You don't have to wait on me.
I've not listened to it enough, but like I heard it like a couple times, and I don't know. Didn't hit me.
Really? I said I just love the sci-fi part of it because like I watched the music video when I first like actually listened to the song, and the song just like it hits me because I love sci-fi and like the backstory behind it was so good because maybe the lyrics of the song itself are different, but the music video was so good. It was pretty much the bad guy and the good guy, they were constantly facing each other. But it's kind of like the whole Batman and it's like the whole Batman and Joker situation, like where without them they're meaningless. So like pretty much like the bad guy falls, like they're like facing each other, but then the bad guy falls and like dies. And so then Joji goes into this deep state of depression because he's like the captain of the ship and he no longer has a purpose. He no longer has a villain to face.
Oh.
Yeah, and it's kind of just showing that thing where like without this, that person's meaningless. And then what happens is his best friend of Joji decides to become evil just to bring like his crew back together because the crew is like slowly like just becoming bored and like losing life.
Mm-hmm.
And so he instead like became the villain. And so then and at the end it's like the purest thing ever. You just see Joji smile as he's sitting in the commander chair, like chasing after his best friend who just turned into the enemy.
Oh, do you know who else is a great music artist right now in the vein of like Joji and like kind of in that same kind of scene? Oliver Tree.
Okay, yeah, Oliver Tree. Oliver Tree. Okay, yeah, he's good.
I love Oliver Tree so much.
He's like emphasis on artists. Like whenever he talks, like I watched a few things about him, and he's very strict about being an quote unquote like being known as an artist, not like as who he really is, but as as an artist figure.
Oh my god. It's like some of his songs are like really good. Oh man.
Yeah.
Alien Boy, Hurt,
Alien
and
Boy's a
Miracle
classic.
Man are my
Hurt-
favorites.
I like Miracle Man and Hurt. Those
Hurt
two are good.
is my favorite. God,
Yeah, so he was
Hurt.
actually on a podcast with Ethan H3H, I think.
Yeah.
He was on that, and like I really enjoyed that. So it gives you kind of a little bit more perspective on him, and I enjoyed it. I enjoyed watching that stuff. Like I won't go out of my way to listen to Oliver, but whenever I do, it's always a good time.
And of course, the F Word song is amazing. Enough! I'm fucking done. Bitch, I'm fucking done.
The music video is good too.
I love his videos. They're very artistic.
Oh, and exactly. He's a very artistic person. Like in the podcast, he said he's been waiting to do all this stuff since he was a kid. Like he's been having this dream for the longest time.
Yeah, for real. I love the artistic chops on him, really. He's an underrated artist for sure.
Yeah. Another artist that's risen and is doing really well at the moment is Billie Eilish.
Oh God, Billie Eilish is everywhere. But I don't mind it.
Yeah, and she deserves it. Like let's just say she deserves it. Like some people don't deserve it, and I truly believe that she deserves it.
Oh yeah, no, her album that came out this year is one of my favorite albums of the year. It's great. It's really great.
So
I love it.
I just love it. It was good. Like
Yeah.
whenever Bad Guy came on the radio when I was heading to work, I'd crank that up every time. Doesn't matter if I was in bad mood, good mood. That I just listened to him like like that. Think she scared me?
Yeah.
It's probably because I'm wearing his cologne.
The production on the album is so great.
Some of the bass was like insane
I
in
love
Bad
the
Guy.
album. It's like today, I think. Yeah, it was today. Billie Eilish dropped the music video for All the Good Girls Go to Hell.
I heard you guys talking about that as well.
We were talking about that, yeah. The visuals were, oh my god, that's so cool. It was so cool looking.
You know what? I'm gonna most definitely watch it as soon as this podcast ends. Like I'm gonna watch it.
Like, and honestly, what do you prefer about Billie Eilish? Her crunk songs, the ones that like make you move, or the slower songs? What do you prefer?
Weird thing about Discord is sometimes you
I cut out.
like
Okay.
cut out completely.
All right.
Like it happens all the time.
Well, okay. Let me try this again. Do you prefer Billie Eilish's more energetic songs or slower songs?
Her slower songs hit different. Like it's the sad. She is so good at captivating the sad songs. Like it hits. Like I'm like like her sad. The way she's able to like put effort into the sad songs like hits you so hard. Like I Love You. I was like oh.
Oh yeah, I Love You is.
It hits.
Have you've listened to Listen Before I Go, right?
Yeah, I said I try to stay away from the music because I'm like, oh, the feels,
God, listen before
my
I
heart.
go. And oh man, God.
No, honestly, and that's the way she was going for. Like, it's hard for some people to actually like get it in there. Like some people are like, oh, that's a good song, but like sometimes, but this song like it hits, like it hits.
What makes it so impressive is her age when she made this album. It's like she was I think 16 when she made this album.
That is
Like, she
crazy.
was 16 when she made this album.
Honestly, that's just crazy. Like, there's nothing you can like say about it, but she has talent and she has creativity. Like
Like
for me, like yeah, just like for example, for me, if I made a like song like or even an album, they would start sounding similar like eventually. Like that's the problem. Is like I think I would be good at making a few songs, but then I like have trouble like making sure they like all didn't sound different. You know?
that's how I feel right now actually, because I tried making an EP a while ago, but it didn't work out too well. Not Lotus, but like a different project.
Yeah. I mean, that's what kind of scary. That's what makes me nervous. I'm like, oh no, you know, because if I ever do make music, it'll always either be as a parody or like it will be something that like I feel like I truly can make. And the thing is about me is I'm not like your main focus is music, and the thing is like you've spent a lot of your time focusing on music, and it's paid off for you a ton. And
Yeah, it
that's the great thing.
has.
And yeah, that's what I mean is for you, it's turned out really well, and for me, I have not focused on music, but I enjoy music. And if I were to ever make something, I think I'd make it to the best of an extent if I could. And I will have like 20 times so much more trouble making something compared to you. And the thing is, you have talent, and it just we both just have to apply ourselves, I guess, more.
Well, I mean, we have different talents. You gotta
Yeah,
realize
that's what I mean.
that.
And as you and I literally said earlier, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how many talents you have, as long as you have a few. Like if you have talents, like one or two talents that you're extremely good at, that like counts so much more than having like 5,000 talents that like are like weak.
Yeah, it's like I've been wanting to make more music, and I've just been thinking, really, honestly, about where I want to go. It's really difficult.
Yeah, it is difficult on a lot of terms because you don't honestly the hardest part is actually starting the thing because like once it goes like it starts rolling like a snowball going downhill, it gets bigger and bigger, but
I
like
mean,
you have to
it's
actually like
like,
take
yeah.
that step.
It's like, yeah, I made Lotus. It was okay, I thought. It was fine, and a bunch of people liked it, though. Kind of surprised me.
And there you go. And
And
I feel if you try to make a new album, I think it would turn out even better. Like I said, just
just
you
because of
doing that,
experience, yeah.
yeah, and you got out there and you actually took the time to do that, and that takes a lot of guts and it takes a lot of effort. And I said, as one of your good friends, like I am proud of you for doing that.
Muchas gracias, mi amigo.
De nada.
But, like, as for you, I really admire your filmmaking and film production skills, and you need to make more stuff because you're great.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, hopefully that's what I'm trying to do. Is you and I both, we have so many great ideas and so much passion, but yet we, in the end of the day, we always end up not doing what we were wanting to do originally. I think that's our biggest mistake as as you said, filmmakers or even like music producers. Like we need to continue to be on that grind. You know, what I mean, like school and all that stuff's important, but we need to get on that grind again. You know,
You need to get on that grind.
get that bread.
Obtain the grain.
That's good. I like that. That's good.
All right. Well, I think that's all the time we have left for
Yeah.
this podcast, and awesome. We got another one done. We did it. We survived.
This one took an interesting turn. I thought it was pretty interesting.
A lot more musical than I thought it was going to go, and I'm glad because that's actually
Yeah,
something
I
I'm
mean,
experienced
honestly-
in.
So honestly, you and I were like, okay, we need to have a topic, but literally we went in here not knowing at all what we were going to talk about, and we ended up having very good discussion about just a few things that we thought were important.
We just screwed around for a bit. We didn't have a topic. We were just like, oh, but
Well, I think it turned well.
yeah. So yeah, thank you all for listening to Just Bros Recording a Podcast, episode 3. If you enjoyed this podcast, please tell us below. And I would like to thank my gorgeous co-host, Mr. Sassakun, for joining me again.
Aw. Oh, you're flattering me, man. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate being a part of this with you. It means so much.
Next episode, I don't know what's gonna happen.
Something exciting, of course.
Something most likely will happen. I might get a guest, might not. I don't know.
Yeah, and hopefully for sure we will have some art that you can look at while we talk.
Oh yeah, some beautiful art from Mr. Koss himself.
Ashton Feze Wong. I can never
Puss,
like
I think
actually
it's
remember
Puss
his
says Song. I feel like I'm insulting him.
We will by episode 4 I will have his name memorized. I promise you that.
It just gets longer by the time you memorize it.
Oh no, I know. It's a long name.
But yeah.
We'll try our best.
All right, thank you all for listening to the podcast, and we will see you guys later in episode 4. Goodbye.
Bye-bye. Dang.